What is the Federal Write-in Absentee Ballot? It's an emergency backup ballot for overseas voters. This video goes hand in hand with a helpful guide at votefromabroad.org/FWAB. Refer to this website for the best and most up-to-date information. In case of U.S. postal delivery delays, and if the mail service where you live is uncertain, the emergency backup ballot can help you preserve your vote in uncertain circumstances. Your official state ballot is sent to you, an overseas voter, 45 days before an election. But that isn't always early enough to ensure your ballot will arrive in time if you vote in a state that requires your ballot to be mailed, especially in 2020. There are quite a few steps to use the emergency backup ballot. This video will walk you through the process and answer questions you might have along the way. Your vote is more important than ever, so follow the steps carefully. Only overseas voters who have registered and requested their ballots using the FPCA, Federal Postcard Application, we'll just call that your ballot request from now on, may send an FWAB emergency backup ballot. So first, send in your federal ballot request. If you can, ask for the blank ballot to be sent to you by email. If you use votefromabroad.org to request your ballot, congratulations, you've done this already. Step 2. Check your state requirements for requesting and returning an absentee ballot. If your state requires you to mail your ballot, mailing an emergency ballot request early is the insurance you need. Step 3. Fill out and send your write-in emergency backup absentee ballot. Requirements differ by state for requesting and returning absentee ballots. Some require that everything be done by postal mail. Others allow ballot requests via fax or email, but require ballots to be returned by post. And some states will let you do everything electronically. Check the voting state guide at votefromabroad.org for your state's requirements. If you've already submitted your absentee ballot request via the FPCA, and your state will let you fax or email your completed ballot back for voting, you don't need to send the emergency backup ballot. You're done. How can you use this free time instead? Send your American friends here for their absentee ballot. Otherwise, you'll want to have a few things on hand to begin. Your U.S. voting address. Tip: your U.S. voting address is the last place you lived in the States. If you've never resided in the States, use the last place your U.S. parents lived when they were there. A printer, and/or a scanner or phone with a camera. You'll need envelopes too. If you haven't yet requested your absentee ballot, or you did so by a means other than the official FPCA, start at votefromabroad.org. It's a simple form, and there's help available if you need it. Now, print and sign your completed ballot request. Return the request via email or fax if your state allows. It's the fastest. Use an e-signature or scan your signed request to email, or fax it using an internet utility, a free fax phone app, or an old-school fax machine. Otherwise, get the request in the mail as soon as possible. No matter how you submit your ballot request, always follow up with your local election officials to make sure they received and approved your form. If you already determined you can return your absentee ballot by email or fax, you won't need the emergency backup ballot. Just return your absentee ballot electronically once you receive it. Otherwise, keep your official ballot request on hand. The answers on your emergency backup ballot must match your request exactly. Okay, all you mail-in states, now you're ready for the emergency backup ballot. You can access the form here. Check out the instructions and agree to the privacy statement to begin. After you select your state and voting jurisdiction, you'll be asked to pick your voting classification. To be counted, your emergency backup ballot must match your previous absentee ballot request exactly. Some states allow overseas voters to use the emergency backup ballot to vote in all state and local elections, while some restrict your vote to federal elections only. It will tell you here which races you can vote in. Write this down so you'll know which races to include later on. Even though the website gives you the option to register to vote, it's tricky and geared to U.S. military. But if you submitted your ballot request via votefromabroad.org as recommended, huzzah! You've registered to vote. Finally, you can check to request future ballots here too. Can't hurt. Remember all that address and contact information you entered in your original absentee ballot application request? You get to enter it again here, and it has to match exactly. So check your records. Wow, great job. Now you can fill out your ballot and vote. The pink box will tell you if ballots have been certified in your state. If yes, Candidates will be pre-filled for you. Otherwise, you'll write them in. If you do need to write in your candidates, just type in the candidate's name for each office listed. Or you can simply type in the party if it's a general election, not a primary election. The free-form section is used for special federal elections, as well as state and local elections. Check your notes from the prior step for what you can vote in. If you're not sure, or if your official ballot typically doesn't include state elections, limit your vote to federal races. You'll have a chance to confirm your choices and then another chance to review your ballot before you print it. Take the time to make sure your ballot reflects your vote. You're almost done. Download and print your PDF ballot package and review and sign your ballot. Then, download and print your envelope template with the addresses pre-printed too, so there's no chance of making a mistake. Your ballot PDF includes important instructions on how to submit your ballot. You must follow them to the letter to make sure that your ballot counts. What you'll need: your printed instructions and signed voter information sheet and ballot, a ballot security envelope, and a mailing envelope. Pro tip: if you can't print envelopes from your computer, you can print the envelope templates on plain paper, then glue securely to a regular envelope. Now, place your official backup ballot, and only the ballot, in the envelope marked security envelope. Note: including anything else disqualifies your ballot. Finally, put your security envelope, your signed and dated voter information, and your instructions to election officials in the mailing envelope. Folding the security envelope is okay. You can address an envelope yourself or use the printed mailing envelope template. Either way, the envelope must include 1, the election office address, 2, your return address, and 3, the text ballot enclosed for month, year, say 11/20 election, and 4, the text official absentee balloting material. Don't forget to write USA to complete the address. Mailing from abroad requires using international postage stamps, whether using the mailing envelope template or hand addressing. Your ballot won't be delivered without it. Place international stamps right over the message, U.S. postage paid, before mailing. If you can afford it, you can spring for your local post equivalent of overnight or express mail. Just remember to include all the information provided above. You can also use an express mail courier service. Just be sure to use your election office's street address and not a postbox. Dropping your mailing envelope off at a consulate is an option, but this can be quite slow as it depends on U.S. mail as well, and there's no guarantee your ballot will get to the state election office by the deadline. Ask your local U.S. consulate or embassy for their suggested latest drop-off, and be sure to entrust your ballot to them significantly earlier than that. Congratulations on mailing your Emergency Backup Ballot. You've preserved your right to vote in the event your mailed official state ballot arrives after the U.S. election. If you receive your official ballot in time to submit before the deadline, fill that out and send it as well. If both ballots get to your election office in time, only your official ballot will be counted. Remember to check our website, votefromabroad.org, for the full instructions, and email us if you have questions. We're here to help. And remember, your vote counts.